Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to preview the second game between the Springboks and Los Pumas. Sorry if this one is a bit late. I don't know if you share my sentiments. It was quite a tough week, this one. But hey, the video is here. Both teams made quite a few changes in this one. Especially the Springboks. They are back to basically their strongest team. The team that most of these guys played against the Lions in that final game, especially the back line. Getting to the starting teams, let's look at the front row. You'll see that the Pumas, they go with their front row that started last week with Chaparro, Montoya and Kodela. They did well in the front row. They did struggle a little bit against the front row of the Springboks, but they have a task again this week because the Springboks going with a complete new front row again. Trevor Nyakane, he finds himself on the loose head yet again. If you haven't seen him playing recently, he made the switch yet again from tight head to loose head, where he played earlier in his career, and he's doing so well in a partnership with Malcolm Marx, who's just a formidable character when it comes to number 2. He's just so good at the back of them all, just like his opposition number in Montoya. And when it comes to breakdown time, he is the king of that as well. Thomas du Toit, all eyes are on him in the front row as well. He is one of those props that also play on both sides. Thomas du Toit, I have to say, recently what I've seen of him, he hasn't been in the best of form, so we'll see what he does in this one. I want to see what he can do for the Springboks. They've had a knack of playing props, and they're surprising us a little bit as well with the props that they are picking. So let's see how they go. In the second rows, there's changes for both teams. Marvin Orie comes in at number 4, going along with Loot de Jager. So we don't see the two schoolmates in Etzebeth and Marvin Orie playing together, but Etzebeth, he gets a well-deserved break. He's played every minute for the last 4 games, or 5 games maybe, for the Springboks. So big game for him to have off. But Marvin Orie, he has to step up here because he still has to prove what he can do at this level of rugby. He forms partnership with Loot de Jager, who has been superb since coming back from his injury. He will continue again this week. They are up against 2 changes for the Pumas in Alemano and Lavanini. Quite interesting to me because Guido Petty moving from the locks to the flankers. I haven't seen him play much over there. Guido Petty, he's one of the best locks in the world in my opinion. And then Marcos Kremer, he is out of the starting team this week. He was last week's lock as well. But I have to say Marcos Kremer probably better at playing flanker than being a lock. Alemano, he's been improving every game that you do see him this last couple of years. He's brought attention to himself as well. Lavanini, I have to say, his form has probably dropped over the last couple of years, so probably lucky to get a start as well with the lock rankings that the Pumas do have at the moment. But Lavanini, he is a quality player. Pablo Matera at number 6, the former captain of the Pumas, he's going to do his thing again. He's just such a hard bloke on the park. Such a good player. He's up against Siya Kolisi, who is finding form. I have to say these last couple of weeks, his last 2 games or 3 games, he's been in brilliant form as well. Then at number 7, like I said, Petty moving to the flanker is quite a strange move for me. You can maybe let me know what I can expect of him at number 7. Then Franco Mostert, who is standing in for Pieter Steph du Toit, who has, looks like it, a long-term injury again. He's at number 7. He's played brilliantly so far this year. One of the biggest tacklers for the team, along with a guy like Loot de Jager. So you get a lot of tackles with these 2 guys on the park. Bruni, who is a beast for the Pumas, has also been in good form. Probably one of the standout players for the team as well. If you do play fantasy on SkinnyBru, that you can join in the description below, pick him because he has a standout game most weeks. He's up against the youngster who is filling the shoes, or trying to fill the shoes, of Dwayne Vermeulen at the moment, who is doing quite well as well. He's improving week in, week out. Then the number 9 and 10. There is a change there for Los Pumas, and I have to say it is strange for me there. The changes there. Bertrand now is a great number 9, so no problem there with him. He can bring a game to Reinach as well. Both of them are quick, nippy number 9s. Both of them can get around the fringes of a ruck or fringes of the scrum as well and score tries. A guy like Reinach, if he gets a ball that drops or is a knock on, he can run through and score a try like we saw last week. Then at number 10, I have to say I was quite shocked where the veteran Sanchez is left out and he is on the bench with Miotti coming in. Miotti, look, he plays a different game than Sanchez. Miotti is a guy that plays more of a running style of game. Maybe that is what they're going to try and target the Pumas as well this week, because they just could not get their running game going last week. There was opportunities for them, but a lot of times they didn't pass the ball out wide where there was actually gaps. The Springboks really didn't play a perfect game when it came to defense as well. But this week it is a harder game for them. Miotti, even though he is in and he can play that type of game, the Springboks, they basically have their backline that won the test series against the Lions back this week. Andre Pollard, he comes in at number 10. He's out and out the best number 10 for the Springboks at the moment. He's head and shoulders above everyone. So let's see how he does this week. The thing is, he struggled with his conversions against the Lions in that 3 games. So he needs to up that. Hopefully he's worked on that in the last couple of weeks. Otherwise, there might be a target for the Pumas to still be in the game after a couple of conversions or penalties. Then we get to the centers. The best center pairing the Springboks have at the moment is back with the Allende and Their defense has been brilliant so far. I think they outplayed the Lions completely in that series as well. So Damien de Allende, you know what you get with him, that hard running lines into the opposition. Lukanya one of the big guys to get the defensive organization ready for the team as well. They need it because a guy like De La Fuente, he loves hitting the gap and opening gaps for players outside of him. The youngster Chocobares, he is a brilliant runner of the ball, difficult to tackle as well, hard bloke to get down. So they will need big defense up against them, but last week, they just could not use number 12 and 13, the Pumas. They were just drowned out of it for some reason, and that's where Miotti probably comes in. Miotti, he is the type of guy that could have a brilliant game, but sometimes he is one of those players that can also not play too well in some games. On the 2 wingers, Carreras, he moves from 15 to 11. I prefer him on the wing. He's a very dangerous winger. The Sevens bronze medalist, we still remember how the Argentinians kicked the Blitzboks out. Sevens bronze medalist Mendy, he's at number 14. Let's see how he does this week. We have a 7-star on our team as well in the form of Cheslin Colby. We know what he can do. He can step anyone in front of him. So Carreras really needs to look after him. Mapimpi, he is one of the best try-scoring records for any Springbok ever, is at number 11. Then at number 15, another guy that's head and shoulders above everyone else in his position, Willie Leroux, just managing the team so well at the back, and he's just catching every high ball, and the high ball is going to be important this week again. I just would like to see what we do on attack as well, the Springboks, because last week it was actually quite interesting to see how many balls was kicked into the air on attack that Itzebeth regathered. So I would like to see if Lotte Jager or Ori does that job again. Malia, he comes in at number 15 for the Pumas, so they have a dangerous back 3 yet again, as always with any Argentinian team. Then we get to the benches. The Springboks have a 6-2 split, so they are looking to dominate up front. The Los Pumas have a more traditional 5-3 split. You'll see the Springboks have a lot of changes, just like the Los Pumas. So Springboks, they have Bongi, Mbunambi, Kitshoff and Malherbe. The best front row probably in South Africa on the bench can close out this game quite well. They are up against Bosch, Gigena and then Medrano. Also a good forward pack for the Pumas, especially a guy like Medrano. I love to see what he can do every week. I watched him a lot at the Western Force in the Super Rugby AU season. Marcos Kremer, I highlighted him earlier. Probably better on the flanker. He is on number 19, so probably a replacement at lock time as well. I don't know, maybe they will shift Petty to the lock and Kremer as well as a flanker. Janse van Rensburg, he is going to make his debut, his official debut this week around. Quagga Smith, one of the flanker replacements or loose forward replacements for the Springboks as well. Gonzalez being the loose forward replacement for Los Pumas. The Springboks have another loose forward replacement in Dan de Prio. We haven't seen him play for the Springboks in a long time, so let's see what he does this week around. Felipe Escura, the scrum half replacement. Sanchez there as a veteran when it comes to the fly half. If the game is close at the end and you bring him on, you know he can edge a game for you. So That two guys can really change a game when they come on. Sinti at number 23 also making his debut this week. Another 7-star for the Argentinians at the moment. Jaden Hendrikse, the youngster at number 22. We do need him with a couple of injuries that the Springboks do have at scrum half at the moment with Faf de Klerk and then Yankees as well. Then Damien Willemse, he finds himself on number 23 again. Hopefully when he comes on, we'll see him play at center again. I did not like him too much at fullback again last week. Guys, let's get into the prediction. It is being played at Nelson Mandela Stadium again in Port Elizabeth or Coberga. I'm not sure if I even say that correctly. It is a big game. The Springboks, they dominated Los Pumas last week. It is a better team the Springboks have this week again. Los Pumas probably, if you just look at it on paper, not as good as last week. But, you know, there is always plans with a team like that. I do think the Springboks will win this one, let's say by 15 points. Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. Also, check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you do like the channel. And then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.